That was the famous double side, of course, captained by Danny Blanchflower. In 1981, Ricky Villa conjured one of the Wembley goals in a 3-2 replay win over Manchester City. Steve Perryman lifted the cup. In 1991, Paul Stewart's goal set Spurs on their way to a 2-1 win over Nottingham Forest. This time, Gary Mabbott was first up the steps. You know what they say about Spurs and a year ending in 1, but in each of the following years, 62 and 82, Spurs won the cup again. What about 1992?
I think everybody wants to go back there to do it again, and I feel that having won it last year, I think we've got that extra bit to want to do it again now.
Villa have a rich cup pedigree too. Assistant manager Andy Gray was a winner with Everton. Big Ron won it twice with Manchester United in the 80s. Cyril Regis was part of the Coventry dream. Les Sealey was Manchester United's unexpected hero against Crystal Palace. It was Sealey that kept Villa in this tie when Paul Walsh threatened to settle it. And Walsh was involved in the penalty that never was. Gazza expects another Wembley appearance. There's work to be done before that, though, by both him and Spurs. Villa fancy their chances tonight. There's our man, Andy Gray. And Tottenham Hotspur, in order to unlock Villa, play 3 strikers. Gary Lineker, Paul Walsh, who's in a rich vein of form, and back tonight, £2 million man, Gordon Durie. What a prospect. 2 of the great FA Cup teams, 15 cup wins between them. Spurs against Villa. It's exclusively live here tonight on Sky Sports. And remember, we will have a winner tonight. There's the prospect of extra time and the first live FA Cup penalty shootout in history. The match kicks off at 7:45. Our studio guest is the Sheffield United manager, Dave Bassett. We'll talk to Dave in a moment, but straight to White Hart Lane to check on the conditions and the teams, David Livingston.
Hi Richard, welcome to White Hart Lane. A great atmosphere building up here, a good all-ticket crowd. Conditions are perfect, air conditions, ground conditions, perfect for this crucial match. And as you said earlier on, great team news for Spurs. Gary Lineker back, Gordon Durie back, and they team up with Paul Welsh. So it's an impressive strike force after Saturday's 2-0 defeat by Chelsea. For Villa, only one change. Steve Staunton comes in to take over the number 8 shirt from Steve Froggatt, left side of midfield, and that gives them change from the team which drew 0-0 with Arsenal on Saturday. Spurs say that they are going for goals. Peter Shreve says that after 2 0-0 so far this season, there's got to be goals in this match. He says that they don't want a penalty shootout, he says, for either team. For Villa, though, there's no pressure. They say that they've come here, all the pressure is on Spurs, and it's going to be a great game. The point that Peter Shreves was making there about penalty shootouts, Richard, he says doesn't want it either way. But I wonder if the crowd here, or if the Sky Sports viewers, would think differently.
David, thank you. Back at White Hart Lane shortly. Dave Bassett, Spurs playing with 3 strikers.
Yeah, well, they've obviously brought back Gordon Durie and Gary Lineker after being unfit, well, particularly Gary on Saturday. And although I think Paul Walsh is likely to play wide to get at the fullbacks because he's a good dribbler there, and he has played there before and scored goals.
What a match, eh?
It should be a good game.
2 things to mention right now. The Footballers' Football Show, which Dave here will be back for after this programme. We're talking about agents this week. Could be lively. Next week, our guest is the England manager, Graham Taylor. We'll be giving you the chance to talk to Graham direct. Find out how on tonight's show. Kick-off, as I said, at 7:45. White Hart Lane, the venue. That's the home of Tottenham Hotspur.
Shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. Well, now you step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places. but the horns, they blowing that sound. Way on down south, way on down south, London town.
Now to Smith, number 9. In comes Dyson, he scored!
Wonderful. The Insider Guide to Tottenham Hotspur, good music as well. The Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. Coming next, our Carlsberg Man of the Match. They're ready at White Hart Lane. I hope you are. Kicks off in, what, 5 minutes or so. Stay with us here on Sky Sports.
The summer is at its hottest down under, and the world's greatest tennis players are in Australia for 92's first Grand Slam tournament. All of the action right down to the last points.
That's it. Becker is the new champion.
The Australian Open, live tomorrow morning at 8:30 on Sky Sports.
Good morning. This is the Fiat Tipo.
The most spacious car in its class.
Thank you.
Power Stick, the new wide stick from Sure, contains a deodorant which actually responds to changes in body heat. The harder you work, the harder it works. Whatever your day demands. New Sure Power Stick, power protection on demand.
We saved the best for last.
What's with kids today?
Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare.
You know, someone said it's a dog-eat-dog world. I think it was a Chihuahua. But when things get bad,
Morgan, Alaska.
I'll feel that ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley deep enough, ain't no river wide enough.
Stone, for documents and parcels worldwide, call DHL.
They even go to Tallahassee, Lassie.
Hello, babe.
I found my
This is one very special rock and roll record opera. It's only available by phone, so please be ready with pen and paper. The Hits of Rock and Roll features unforgettable stars like Buddy Holly, Eddie Cochran, Fats Domino, The Big Bopper, Little Richard, the Everly Brothers, Dion, Gene Vincent, Carl Perkins, and Bill Hayden. 101 hits of rock and roll. 5 records, 5 cassettes, or 5 compact discs. Cassettes and CDs in this nostalgic presentation jukebox. 43 #1 hits, 91 top 10 hits. The hits go on and on. The genius of Chuck Berry, the runaway girl of Del Shannon, and the killer, Jerry Lee Lewis. So, to order your 5-album set of the hits of rock and roll, phone one of these numbers now. Remember, this set is not on sale in the shops, and please allow 21 days for delivery.
it. Did he really? The Fiat Tempera. A hell of a lot more interesting than some executive saloons. No, do go on.
Let me suggest that you take a vacation from yourself.
Catch! Total Recall, just one of at least 60 brand new films you can see on Sky Movies Plus on the Movie Channel in January. To subscribe now, call this number, 0506 460 460.
They're coming back to the crease again. Those captains of cricket, with all the agony and ecstasy of warfare at the wicket. I say we don't like cricket. Oh no, we love it. We love it. Yeah, we love it.
Coming soon, the World Cup of Cricket, live and exclusive on Sky Sports.
Welcome back. Shouldn't have said it, should I? Kicks off in 5 minutes or so. We understand there's a 10-minute delay. Find out why in a moment or so. But big night of cup football. Let's have a look at what's happening elsewhere. Third round replays at Cambridge, Derby, Hereford, Newcastle, West Ham, that's the one I was looking at, and Wimbledon, of course, against Bristol City. Keep you up to date with all those matches as they come in tonight. Dave, the one I would have thought that's most difficult tonight, in a way, bearing in mind their problems off the park, is West Ham United.
Yeah, everybody's looking at that one with West Ham's poor form, but I fancy West Ham will win that tonight, and I think they'll win comfortably. I think they might sort of be ready to bounce back now. Everybody expected them to beat Farnborough, and then they had the disappointment of the Zenith data last week, and then drawing with Wimbledon, and they barely need a result. But I think it'll come tonight.
Be nice for Bill, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
he deserves a break of some sort at the moment.
Yeah, Bill's a good, honest lad, and you know, hopefully it'll work out for him.
Right, we'll go and find out what's happening at Spurs in a moment or so, but don't forget our Carlsberg Man of the Match competition this evening. The ultimate prize, of course, for one lucky Sky Sports viewer. That's a big family day out at a Wembley match later in the season. First, just watch our game tonight. At the end, we'll ask you to name your Carlsberg Man of the Match. If you vote for the overall poll winner, you could win one of our weekly prizes, a Carlsberg sports bag full of various goodies. Stage 2 comes later in the season when all our weekly winners go into a draw. The winner then gets that family day out for a big match at Wembley. It's easy enough to get involved. Telephone number is 0898 500 125. 0898 500 125. Of course, we'll announce the winner in Sky Soccer Weekend this coming Friday with Matt Lorenzo. Back to White Hart Lane. Why the delay? David Livingston is the man with all the answers. David.
Some confusion down here about the kick-off time. It's been put back 10 minutes. Nothing sinister about that, though. It's simply good news that there's a huge late surge of crowd trying to come into the ground. So they put back the kick-off 10 minutes. It's good news. The atmosphere is good at the moment. It's going to be even better by kick-off time.
David, thank you. You can almost reach out and touch that atmosphere as well, can't you? A packed White Hart Lane. Tottenham against Aston Villa. Third round FA Cup replay, the match of the week. You can see it here exclusively live on Sky Sports. We'll be back after this break. Stay there.
Watch soccer on Sky Sport.
Wonderful. Sky Soccer Weekend, Friday at 6 and 9 on Sky Sports.
It was all right then, and it's all right now.
All right now, baby, it's all right now.
Freedom, love, and great music from the children of the revolution. The incredible new collection from Teledisc. 50 original hits from the legendary T-Rex, Free, and Martha Hoople.
Hey, dude!
To Jimi Hendrix, the Yardbirds, Deep Purple, Status Quo, the Animals, Traffic, and Steppenwolf.
Get your motor running.
Children of the Revolution. Celebrate the dawn of a new musical era with these 50 original hits. The Moon, the Birds, the Small Faces,
We touched it.
Canned Heat, The Kinks, songs you'll want to hear again and again. A complete musical experience for every generation. Children of the Revolution. 3 hours of very special sounds on 3 records, 3 long play cassettes, or 3 compact discs.
If you're going to San Francisco.
However, Children of the Revolution is not available in any stores. To order your copy of Children of the Revolution, call this number now with your credit card details. Or write to Teledisc at this address. Children of the Revolution, exclusively from Teledisc, the quality name for the best music collections. And remember, Children of the Revolution is not available in any stores.
Book your summer holiday with ATMAs and go one better with thousands of holidays to choose from. Go one better on price with big savings from £30 to £200. Or if you take more than one holiday like me, go one better with Travel Plus, where a year's free insurance is only the beginning. Everything a travel agent should be.
Natural Plus antiperspirant. With plant extracts. Works in harmony with your body. Natural Plus. Natural protection.
Thursday night is fight night, and ringside is ready to rumble every Thursday at 8 on Sky Sports.
Sky Sports.
Welcome back. White Hart Lane. Tottenham Hotspur, the cup holders against Aston Villa. It's live here tonight on Sky Sports. Should have kicked off by now, but there's a 10-minute delay to allow people to get into the ground. Should be a wonderful atmosphere there this evening. Sky Sports, the place to be tonight. Not only have we got this coming up, but a little bit later, the Footballers Football Show immediately after this programme. It says 10 o'clock. That might not be the case if we get extra time tonight. And, of course, there's also the possibility of penalties, but it will follow this programme. The subject on the agenda is football agents. I suspect it could be lively. Next week, Graham Taylor is our guest on the programme. We'll tell you during the course of tonight and on the Footballers Football Show how you can speak to Graham next week at, well, 10 o'clock, I suspect it'll be. We've got live football next Tuesday as well, but on the show next week. FA Cup predictions. We've had a bit of fun with these here on Sky Sports. We'll get Dave involved here. Let's just have a look at how the experts believe the Cup would unfold this year, Dave. Ray Wilkins, Trevor Francis and Alan Hansen all went for Arsenal. That was a good night in the first round, wasn't it? And how? David Pleat, who's with us this evening, goes for Nottingham Forest. David O'Leary, Liverpool. David Platt, Aston Villa.
Yeah, well, obviously I've got some insight that 1 or 2 teams are not in there now, so it's a bit easier.
Well, look at the one at the bottom. Ron Atkinson, Tottenham. Yeah. I think he said the winner of this tie, but a bit tongue-in-cheek that, wasn't it, Tottenham?
Yeah, you obviously hope your own club, and Ron would feel that way. I mean, Tottenham being there last year, they'll have the flavour to want to go back. I think when you've been there and you've savoured it, you fancy it, and I certainly wouldn't bet against Tottenham. I think they've got the ability to get away draws and get people back to White Hart Lane. Although people say their home form's not that good, you don't go to White Hart Lane relishing the tie.
No, that's true. You don't go there and expect to win.
That's right.
The staff. Let's have a look how the staff went by way of the predictions. Martin Tyler, as I said the other night, had first pick. He went for Liverpool. Peter Brackley, Leeds. Ian Darks on Aston Villa. Jonathan Pearce, City are out, aren't they? Matt Lorenzo on QPR, they've gone. Southampton, Sheffield Wednesday and Andy Gray. Richard Keys and Andy Gray, rather, for Sheffield Wednesday there at the bottom. Wouldn't take much exception to that, would you?
No, not really. I mean, I think everybody's picking the sort of favourites, but there might be an outsider.
OK, this is the place for live FA Cup goals. We can guarantee you some tonight, of course, to add to the 75 that we've enjoyed with you over the past 12 months or so. That's 75 live FA Cup goals here on Sky Sports. Elsewhere, you would have seen just 14. Let's go and join our commentary team this evening. It's David Pleat, who, of course, took Spurs to a cup final, and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. Hello again, everyone. White Hart Lane, it's been a mixed
blessing for Tottenham Hotspur this season. They've been beaten here 6 times in the league, but they have won all their home cup ties. It is the competition that provokes superstition, and I can offer both sets of supporters an omen. Tottenham retained the FA Cup in 1962 and 1982, and both times they beat Aston Villa along the way. And from Villa's perspective, the 3 times that they have knocked Spurs out of the FA Cup, all 3 have been in away matches. David Pleat, who's been watching the atmosphere build here tonight. David, how do you feel the evening will go?
Well, I think we'll see goals. I think the mentality of the players will change, knowing full well tonight that it's extra time then penalties. It really is sudden death. And I think that Tottenham, obviously Peter Shreve has gone and put goal-scoring players in that forward line together, Lineker, Drury and Walsh. Now, sometimes when you try and put all your goal scorers together, you sometimes may lose a bit of shape, but it's up to Spurs to come and take the game to Villa tonight. The supporters will demand that. Ron Atkinson will make sure that they're as tight as possible and dangerous on the break with the pace, with Regis up front. It's going to be a fascinating game.
It's been quite a long wait for Aston Villa, who arrived here about 6:15, and finally now, at some 9 minutes to 8, get to come out to start the proceedings in earnest. Well, let's look at the team lineup, starting with Spurs. And we stress again, it's a side with a greater emphasis on attack. Gordon Jury back after missing 8 games with hamstring trouble. Gary Lineker shaking off the strains which kept him out of the league game at Chelsea. And there's still a place for Paul Walsh, who was Spurs' outstanding player at Stamford Bridge on Saturday. David, how do you think they will be fitted into the framework?
Well, I think it's a straightforward back 4 there, with Fenwick, Sedgley, Mowat and Van den Hauwe, all real defenders, possibly not as comfortable surging forward. But then you look across the midfield, and that is attacking. Allen likes to burst forward. Stewart's better when he's forging into the box. Some ways the playmaker. Walsh may not be happy in that tucked-in wide position. Drury and Lineker back together again. Lineker has been the main predator all season. He's scored all the goals. They've had very little coming from midfield. Stewart, I believe, has got 3 in something like 34 games. Samways 2. Paul Allen 3, Naim 1. So they're going to be relying a lot tonight on those strikers. They're looking to Drury, Lineker and Walsh.
As for Aston Villa, they've just one change in personnel from the first meeting. Brian Small, a 20-year-old graduate from the Football Association's National School, plays his first FA Cup tie. He'll be at left back with Steve Staunton, who limped off at Villa Park 9 days ago, fit again, and now in midfield. That's a key area for Ron Atkinson's side, with Dwight York and Tony Daly supplying width, and one central striker, Cyril Regis.
Yes, that will give Villa the confidence to burst forward and support Regis. It means they've got to work the ball out from defence. They've got enough bodies around. If Tottenham put the pressure on and force the issue, and Villa are forced to hit it long out, then it could keep coming straight back. Regis might need a partner. It'll be interesting to see as the game progresses how Ron Atkinson copes with his own formation.
The referee, Jimmy Burrett, a replacement for Joe Worrell in the original tie. He continues in charge of the replay. In his 5 years with Chelsea, Gordon Jury only scored 1 FA Cup goal, and that was against Aston Villa in a third-round replay back in 1987. It's the second act of this FA Cup drama, and it must be the final act. Neither camp particularly happy about the prospect of penalties if the scores are level after extra time here. But Tottenham have spent quite a lot of this season practicing them, mainly for their European involvement. And we are looking at a home team here of real cup pedigree, through to the semi-final of the Rumbelows League Cup. Since these two teams met at Villa Park, of course, that quarter-final win. And quite a tense occasion here it was against Norwich City. into the quarter-finals of the European Cup Winners' Cup. Can they progress now into the fourth round of the cup that they hold? Staunton. Dwight York, who was so relieved that Jimmy Borrett didn't blow for a penalty in the latter stages of the first meeting, when he clearly caught Paul Walsh. Here's Daly. Much deeper now, but with the pace, of course, to take on even a mass defence, as Tottenham were massing them. And that's a rather nervy ball from Kubicki. And then a lunge by Staunton on Paul Allen. Really, since the advent of floodlights, night games at White Hart Lane have been very special affairs. This has all the ingredients for being another one. Steve Sedgley, not very authoritative then. York plays safe back to Les Sealy. Villa boosted by holding Arsenal at Highbury on Saturday, while Tottenham, without both Lineker and Jury in a single game for the first time this season, were rather tired and toothless at Chelsea, beaten 2-0, and no complaints about the justice of that result either. York trying to get beyond Regis, and then reacting as the ball dropped his way.
It's so important that Dwight York and Tony Daly push up against the Tottenham fullbacks.
Here's Paul McGrath, described by the Tottenham manager Peter Shreeves today as arguably the best central defender in the First Division. It's quite a compliment. But I think deep down Spurs believe that there might be weaknesses elsewhere in the Aston Villa defence. Brian Small, the youngster. At left back, Kevin Richardson in the centre of midfield. Gary Parker, who's done well here in Nottingham Forest colours in the past. Regis. Here's Daly. Staunton's got into the middle. Doesn't quite reach him. Samways trying to restore some order for Tottenham here. Prefers the left foot, as that rather showed. Nice ball from Staunton. The shot's on for Gary Parker, and Parker's through. Oh, and a player who really does enjoy coming here, whatever team he's in, very nearly giving this third-round tie its opening goal.
Wonderful quick feet by Parker there. Look at the way he switched the ball, knew exactly what he was doing. So unlucky, just lifted it over Thorsfeld and lifted over the bar. What a wonderful start that would have been for Villa. They've got a good momentum to the game. And Tottenham now will be looking carefully at the next 10 minutes. They've got to get organised. It looks as though Staunton, Parker and Richardson in the midfield could get a lot of ball.
You can see the scars on this pitch, but it's much better than the one at Villa Park. All the players will appreciate that, including Regis. Anxious early moments for Spurs, but they have got the strength and the sophistication in their attack. Here's Stewart. Allen. Walsh has come into the centre. Samways trying to pick him out. Covered by Richardson. Fenwick. Now Allen. Walsh for Allen. Well stopped. Les Sealy had to go a long way to his left. Paul Allen doesn't get too many goals, but he certainly took the fight to Villa here.
Lovely little touch by Paul Walsh there, on his left foot. Not the one he might prefer, and well down by Sealy.
Here's Daly. There's left Fenwick and Stewart, who wasn't going to be beaten though. But Tony Daly already looking more of an influence in this replay than he was in the first game, where he played up front with Regis. Sedgley's clearing header from Richardson's corner. Staunton, now Parker. And Dwight York is offside.
Early on, Tottenham in the shape of Vinnie Samways and Paul Stewart. Paul Allen will have to decide who they're going to pick up, and they're going to have to stick with them when Villa are attacking. Being forward orientated, players who like to go forward and support the attack rather than do the defending, they'll have to make sure that when they work the ball past them, that they continue to track their men.
It's not easy for Tottenham players of any generation to satisfy the demands of the White Hart Lane clientele. They expect such high standards here. Winning isn't always enough. It's got to be done with poise and elegance and passing. And that, at times, already has come from Villa in this game.
One could say, Martin, they pay good money for those demands. It's a very expensive place here to watch football. A marvellous stadium, but a very expensive place to watch football.
Well, they put their hands in their pockets again to come out in huge numbers tonight. And they're bellowing the home fans for a free kick. As Staunton brought down Stewart. Played short by Samways to Pat Van den Hauwe. Jury. Regis, very nimbly done, trying to get Daly coming in from the left-hand side. I think it's in this particular role that he's interested Graham Taylor, and of course played as a substitute for England in Poland. But Terry Fenwick had a good match against a different opponent at Villa Park, against Dwight York then. Doesn't move too much from the right-back slot. Ron Atkinson and Andy Gray have done the planning, and are now assessing how the players are putting the theories into practice. But Les Sealy has made one excellent stop already. You really can't get two bigger names in FA Cup history than Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa. 15 times between them they've won the trophy. Only Manchester United have equalled Villa's 7 victories, come into that bracket. Regis. And Daly, too quick for Mabbutt. Tony Daly takes Tottenham on, and Pat Van den Hauwe, who's having a very stable spell in his career, blocked it well. Daly gives him a problem a second time. Sedgley, pressed by Parker. Tottenham haven't cleared it yet. All while Regis is waiting in the centre. Oh, and Stewart! Miscued, only at the cost of a corner. But there are some nerves in Tottenham's penalty area at the moment.
I was saying before the game how long Villa had been here, and because of the 10-minute delay, it seems a very long time they've been around the dressing room area. But they've certainly started sharp. They're gritty and they're bright and zippy.
Regis, one of 4 Villa players in and around the goal area. And York made sure it crossed the line. And Torsfett laments Tottenham conceding a goal from a corner with 10 minutes gone. Richardson took it in at the near post, which they favour so much. And Dwight York got it over the line.
Possibly Terry Fenwick just went a shade too far forward there. It was Drury, in fact, who probably should have been marking in front of McGrath there, and he went forward a little bit, lost a bit of concentration, and it was beautifully chipped just over his head, almost a teasing ball. And I have to say, it's no more than Villa deserve. They're the brighter starters.
Tottenham Hotspur 0, Aston Villa 1. And this young man from Trinidad and Tobago, honoured this week as the Barclays Young Player of December, the Young Eagle of the Month, and really having a most mature season for a young player. He's only 20, came on trial originally. Graham Taylor, in his time at Villa Parks, spotted the potential, and that potential has very quickly become fulfilment. Daly, Spurs, who've laboured in the league at White Hart Lane, are behind on their own patch in the third-round replay of the FA Cup.
Ron Atkinson has certainly wound Daly up. He's got skates on at the moment. He's a threat every time he gets the ball, and he's giving Fenwick all sorts of headaches.
Staunton. It's a free kick to Tottenham.
Really will make for a fascinating game now. Tottenham have got to come, the supporters will demand it, they'll have to really get in there, and then space can open up on the break, and Villa have some pace, particularly in the wide positions.
Small has a problem, but he was being held by Walsh. Let's have another look at the goal from our camera in the net. Thorsfeldt started to go.
He made an error there, Thorsfeldt. He had no need come chasing there. It was being dealt with at the back post, and no one picking up York as he forced it over the line.
And from that angle, it looks as though Paul Allen had a part to play in the ball ending up in the back of the net.
Sure about that one, Martin. I think they're lucky to get that decision, the Villa.
14 minutes gone. Free kick taken by Staunton. Walsh was caught by Parker. Allen, who was back on his own goal line, trying to help out a goalkeeper who had come at the near post and not got to the ball. As Dwight York nearly deflected the ball, it seemed to bounce back over the line from Allen. It is not to Aston Villa, they are leading. Samways. Sean Teal, who's been very solid for Aston Villa in his first season at the club. That goes for so many of the players on view today, of course. Ron Atkinson applying major surgery. I'm sure delighted the way the season has gone, but this really would be a special night if they could embarrass the holders of the FA Cup. Mabbott in behind Small, trying to prey on his inexperience.
I think that man needs to give them a little bit extra width, Paul Allen there. I think If you can come a little bit wider and try and stretch the Villa, on the other side, one can't expect Paul Walsh to hug the touchline. It's not his natural game. He'll be picking up the bits and pieces when the balls are crossed in from the right. He'll be getting in behind Lineker and Drury. But they want some width up front, and they're not going to get it in a forward sense from either fullback, Vanden Hauwe and Fenwick. They're going to be occupied by Dwight, York and Daly. And therefore it's so important, I feel, for Paul Allen to go and do his bits and pieces in a wider position.
Here is York. Waiting for the cross, plenty there to defend against them. Now Daly has made space for himself and didn't quite connect as sweetly as he would have hoped, taking the short route towards goal at the near post.
He got a nice clean shot there, hadn't he, Martin? You just felt that he might bend it to the other corner. Instead he's hit the near side and Thorsfeldt has said thanks very much.
Jury. "17 minutes gone here, and a goal replay that affects the winners of this tie. Derby County lead Burnley 1-0 up at the baseball ground. Walsh. Here's Allen. Some potential here for Tottenham. But Allen not really quite getting the help he might have counted on. There were too many players switching their attentions to the centre for a cross that didn't arrive. Now Daly. Past Samways. The ball in early. Mabbott in difficulties. Oh my goodness, Tottenham have a mounting catalogue of goals they've conceded that have eventually gone in off one of their own players, with Gary Mabbott unfortunate in that respect particularly. Walsh. But Spurs looking to these extra attacking strengths that they feel they're fielding tonight. Allen, and it's Walsh, and it's wide.
Paul did well in that build-up, taking the ball across the field, using Lineker, getting a return, slotting it out to Allen, and then who's in the middle? Not one of his particular strength, but there he is. He just glides behind Staunton there. Not a bad effort.
Walsh playing his 15th consecutive game for Tottenham in the starting lineup, which certainly is a rarity for him. And something that I'm sure he's benefited from. But whether Peter Shreves persists with using all three of his attackers will depend on what happens here tonight. So it's another challenge for Walsh to meet, and of course for Jury as well. I couldn't envisage a situation where Gary Lineker would be easily omitted from the starting 11. Trying to steal a yard or two. He now leaves to Fenwick. It's just over Mabbott. Jury waiting on the edge of the area. The onus very much on Tottenham to not just get back in the game, but reactivate their supporters. This is an unfamiliar position, really, for Tottenham in cup ties, although they were a goal down, of course, to Norwich City only last Wednesday in the Bungalows League Cup and came back. They have been in the mire in league games. There's an offside now against Lineker, who stretched in, and the last thing Spurs want is for Lineker to feel either the toe injury or the groin strain that discomforted him a week ago, kept him out of the side at the weekend.
That really was wonderful defending by McGrath there. He didn't realise the... Let's watch this as that develop.
Regis to Staunton. Back for Parker. Regis trying to wriggle free. And here's Jury, who can run. As Kubicki is finding out to his cost here. Well, Jury has fallen into the penalty area, but it all started way outside. But he roared away from Kubicki then.
Yeah, that's the type of positive running from wide positions. I feel Tottenham are getting back in the game without real width, but it doesn't matter who gives you width, as long as they get that ball out wide and try and get against the fullbacks. Fullbacks at times tend to be isolated. Drury got Kubicki there, and he really raced for him and got the free kick.
Which Samways takes. Headed back by Allen. Oh, and Walsh was the thick of things again. It's another free kick for Tottenham. It's a difficult spell this for Aston Villa. Seeley comes strongly, connected well with both fists. And a little nick by York on Brandon Howe. There's Seeley. Strong off his line there. The referee just making sure that Naim warmed up well away from the touchline. He actually passed a comment, I think, on that foul by York. Walsh, Kubicki, then McGrath, and that really is a measure of how Aston Villa feel at the moment at a clearance like that.
The third important, decisive challenge by McGrath there. It was McGrath who didn't see the linesman flag when Lineker got injured just previously, who made that tremendous last-ditch challenge. And now, when Tottenham are posing the questions, he's showing the answers at the back. He's really defending well, McGrath.
Abbott's header. There's a break on for Villa here, with their runners like Daly and York. And Samways slaps it out. He'd done well to get from penalty area to penalty area. Needed some cover there. Again here, Sedgley. It's handball by Walsh. The referee very well placed to see that. It was also spotted, as you heard, by the Villa fans who are compressed rather into that corner of the ground on the far side. But they're delighted with the way the game's going so far. 24 minutes played, Villa lead by a goal to nil. Richardson leaving the free kick to Staunton. And Howe got to it well for Tottenham. Well, let's get the first chance to have a word from the touchline on the far side. David Livingston.
Martin, that was welcome relief for Aston Villa. Real concern on the bench here. Their main worry and their main message to their fans is don't let Spurs get in behind you. Keep the passing game, keep tight on them, but don't let them get in behind you.
Thanks, David. More from you later. Sedgley is making a bit of time for himself. Steve Sedgley, who has an FA Cup winners medal with Tottenham, of course, last year, and with Coventry. Although he didn't kick a ball to win it, he was a non-playing substitute against Spurs. If I dare mention the occasion, with David Pleat alongside me in the final of 1987.
You dare mention anything, Martin, it's up to you. You get paid, don't you?
Kubicki. Flicked on by Regis. Tottenham needing all the help they can get. defensively. Gordon Jury mixing in well in that respect.
I don't know if it's a temporary change, but Paul Walsh has gone up the middle with Lineker, and Gordon Drury has gone wider on the left, but still really wide, not on the touchline, but in that half-cocked inside left to outside left position. Up the front then, it's Walsh and Lineker.
But just Regis through the middle for Villa, but they're supporting him very well. And there's a great appetite for the ball for Ron Atkinson's team. This is Daly. Something of a skimming shot. Jury. Lineker looking to guide it down to Samways. McGrath had read the play well again. Allen did well to get there before Small. He slightly got wrong the angle of his approach. Paul Allen, who was very involved in the Villa goal, though hardly to blame for it. Just to provide a route on this right-hand side to get Spurs back on song.
Paul Allen might find a way around Small. He's naturally an attacking fullback. He would rather be going forward and concentrating and defending and getting the balls away. He's just made one or two slight errors so far in this game with his positioning, and one gets the impression that either Paul Walsh with his low to the ground dribbling and Paul Allen with his sharp footwork could get the better of him. But at the moment, there isn't a player from Tottenham wide enough on the right to really stretch the game.
Jury is trying to do that on the left-hand side at the moment. Lineker, who can turn a game in a twinkle. Here's Samways. You can sense the anxiety amongst the Spurs fans. On the link-up this time. Samways. Walsh feeling Teal at his back, knowing where he was, claiming that was blocked by a hand, and Jimmy Borrett, for the second time over this tie, saying no to Paul Walsh. It was hit firmly, and if that was an arm, ball to arm rather than the other way around. Walsh couldn't really get any great velocity as he was falling. Run back well by Vanden Hauwe. Mabbott trying to make it his against the odds. Tottenham are all over the place at the moment. Parker. Can Aston Villa capitalise on this break? Well, Parker's attempted cross. Steam taken out of it by Sedgley initially.
A really poor final ball by Gary Parker from a very good counter-attack position.
Sean Teal heads away. And looked very quickly at referee Jimmy Borrett to see what the reaction was. Walsh hammered the ball against it. Daly. Torsvet wasn't at his best at Chelsea on Saturday, either having been caught out with the only goal so far tonight. I must say he was a real tower of strength in the cup run, which was so successful for Spurs last season, particularly in the semi-final at Wembley against Arsenal, of course.
He's done very well to regain his position here, because Ian Walker did particularly well for that spell.
Again. Lineker still moving a little gingerly, could only prod the ball to York, and although Mabbott knocked him over, it was accidental. And Dwight York, as he does with most things, accepts it with a smile. Regis. Kubicki. Back from McGrath. Still being confronted by the pairing of Walsh and Lineker, with Jury staying on the left for this spell for Spurs.
It really is a problem for Spurs, because when they go forward, they haven't really got a holding midfield player. At times this season, David Howells has done it for them, so that whenever they have attacked, they've always been safe and steady against the counter-attacking of the other side, because they've always anchored someone in front of the back four. Tonight they haven't got that anchor. Both Stewart and Samways are forwards who want to go on and support attacks.
As David Howells has been left out of 3 home games in a row now. I'm very disappointed he's not even a substitute tonight. Him and the all-purpose Gudni Bergson on the bench. Here's Allen. Raced by Small again. Trying to almost bundle the ball past him. Staunton helping out. There has been, of course, the regular left back. And that's of some comfort, I'm sure, to Brian Small to have Steve Staunton there when required, as he was then.
Yes, a covering player alongside him can be of great comfort. 2 left backs, really. I always felt Staunton, when he was left of 4 in the midfield at Liverpool, was a very strong forward-going player, and he's still a very young man, and I think it's going to be a very good signing for Villa.
Lineker, and again Allen has to chase to the right, and the ball's gone out of play. It's a point, David, you've made a couple of times already, and that was another example of it. Massive kick from Seeley. He's met well by Mabbott. Stewart, who's very much responsible for organising those in around him in the centre of midfield, and it's an area at the moment that is a cause for some concern for Tottenham. Kubicki. Well, he's not yet scored in his short time in England.
I think he was in a better position than he realised there, Martin. He was right into the box. Van den Hauwe was out of the game completely. Drury misheaded it, and he's rather hit it somewhat meekly past that near post. I think that was a wasted chance.
Here's York. York again. And it's Villa's throw. 10 minutes just over to go to half-time. If you've just joined us, it's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Aston Villa 1. It might change even more in Villa's favour here. And Jimmy Boric shakes his head as Steve Staunton becomes the latest player in this saga to believe that a penalty should be given, and it hasn't been awarded. Maybe we'll have another look at that in a moment, but Tottenham recognising that the game branch is going on here. Jury with a looping header. One or two comments being passed towards Jimmy Borrett about the incident at the other end of the pitch, but at least the referee has been consistent. David?
No question in my mind at all. Staunton took a stumble, and as in the previous call that Paul Walsh had against Sean Teal, we have a couple of super optimists on the field tonight. Neither a penalty. Jim Borrett spot on.
Samways. Vandenhauwe. Came through the back of Walsh then. Again, the referee was very close to adjudicate. Here's Staunton rolling on from midfield once more, taking on Sedgley now. The outlet for him is Dwight York. Parker. Richardson. Well, it was a most thoughtful pass that was spinning back into the stride of Regis, who was just offside, stated the linesman.
I think it was Dwight York possibly on the other side of the field, Martin. Maybe we'll get another opportunity to see that. He went for the 1-2 with Parker. Parker realised he'd run offside, and then he nicked it to Richardson, who curved it behind the last line of defenders there. That's certainly offside.
Well, Villa's attitude is under scrutiny here. They've certainly had some success by taking the game to Tottenham. They've also felt some of the sting in the Spurs attack, which might induce a note of fear. Regis. They battle against each other so often. Gary Mabbutt and Cyril Regis. Both great examples for young players. Samways. During. York has come back to be the first barrier to Dury. A reasonably effective one too. He made sure that Dury knocked the ball too far ahead, and Villa coped well enough that time. Good pressing by Walsh. And it's what Tottenham have to do. They've got to get the crowd going again, which they managed to do with just a bit of unselfish play there from Paul Walsh, typical of what he's been doing since he got back in the side. And Vandenhauwe shapes for the throw. Spurs have, of course, scored from a similar situation to get back in the game a week ago against Norwich. And now they have a corner. Sedgley comes forward. Mabbutt, of course, will be there. And it is a deep corner. Actually, Mabbutt stumbled. Walsh. McGrath again, the main man for Aston Villa. He's 32 now, Paul McGrath. And he's scarcely missed a game since he joined Aston Villa from Manchester United, which is in stark contrast to his record at Old Trafford, where he spent so much time on the treatment table. Staunton. Villa coming out on top again, and Richardson with a delightful ball inside Fenwick for Daly. It needs a good cross here. Walsh backing his own skill, whatever area of the pitch the ball reaches him in. Sedgley intercepted. Stewart changing direction is just impeded. It's a free kick to Tottenham.
Love to be a fly on the wall at half-time in the Spurs dressing room, Martin. There's a few problems, there's a little bit of shape to sort out in the team here. If it stays this way to half-time, Peter might have to change something. At the moment, I can't see penetration. In fact, I don't think Seeley really has had an opportunity to make a fine save.
Just that early one in the game down to his left before the match really took shape. Here's York. Venom in Villa's attacking again until Parker just dallied too long. Allen turning into trouble in the shape of Staunton, who's been very effective. And happily for Villa, very fit. Samways a long way. Now Sedgley. Under 4 minutes to go to half-time. Stewart furthest forward for Tottenham there. And I'd like to see him more advanced, I'm sure. He started to get back on the score sheet a little more recently. Stewart's header. Oh, and it's Jury has the shot. Well, Seeley couldn't have seen it had it buried itself in the bottom corner of his net. As it was, great relief for Aston Villa that it flew on and flew wide.
I don't know what Mr. Angry is shouting about there, really, because he certainly didn't see the ball. He wanted his defenders to go quickly to Drury and to block the shot quicker. They allowed him to have the shot. That's why he's angry this time.
Regis. The tie by no means over. But Tottenham troubled in this first half. They haven't played with any of the verve that really on paper this side has. And one half of North London still in the mourning as far as the FA Cup is concerned. It's going to be a sad night for their great rivals. Kubicki playing safe. But all the disappointment of the first half would be wiped out for Tottenham if they could get level before the break. Van Howe, Samways. Spurs have the throw. They have Van Howe's ability to hurl it towards the near corner of goal area. Stewart, the prime target. And Seeley saw that he had time to get there. Kubicki clearing from Van Howe. Regis and Parker between them, dispossessing Samways. Daly can turn and face and open the legs. And he was caught from behind by Gordon Jury, who responsibly recognised that his own speed might serve Spurs then. But the challenge was ill-timed. And really Tottenham were terrified that Daly might have been able to run through them. The messages come from the bench for Sean Teal to get forward. He was a bit reluctant with half-time approaching. It's Staunton, scooped up by Torsfeld.
A somewhat anemic effort that. Didn't really get hold of it, Staunton. One could see what he was trying to do.
Regis. Staunton again. Supplying Tony Daly. Nothing anemic about that. But it flew straight into the goalkeeper's grasp. And Aston Villa, who addressed this match from the first whistle with confidence, are approaching the half-time whistle in the same vein. For their considerable efforts in the first half, they have the lead. Van Howe. Jimmy Borrett blows the half-time whistle at White Hart Lane. One goal It came in the 11th minute, and it was all about the two number 11s, Paul Allen of Tottenham and Dwight York of Aston Villa. That after Eric Torsvedt, in deciding to go for a near-post corner, really made the crucial mistake and wasn't there to deal with the flick on. In went York, and eventually off the back of Paul Allen's heel, it goes over his own line, and that's the difference between the two sides at half-time. It's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Aston Villa 1. We'll be back after the break.
Friday at 10 on Sky Sports.
A very happy birthday to you.
How do you feel with it? Pretty good. How you doing?
He's getting younger like I am.
That's impossible.
Many happy returns, do you?
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It's the 50th birthday of Muhammad Ali.
What do you have to say? You didn't even shake my hand. What are you going to do about that? Now you must fall.
Send for me, JD.
Yes, I've been taking another look at your commercials for the new Astra. Drivel.
JD, you loved those ideas not 2 days ago.
That was before upstairs saw them. They want the whole car. And now they want a slogan as well. Think Atkins, the new Astra. The finest all-round car we've ever made. Revolutionary seatbelts, catalytic converters, cabin pollen filters.
JD, you make it sound like every car you'll ever need. I'm fired.
No, not necessarily. Just had an idea. Every car, how'd you put that again? Every, what you'll ever need.
It's an opportunity, Jeff.
I'll think about it.
I mean, you'll be laughing all the way to the bank. Oh, sure, of course. Now, look, Jeff, are you in or out? I'm not here for my health, you know.
Jeff.
Larry, suppose I told you I could get a guaranteed return over 5 years, tax-free.
I'd say take it, Jeff.
I already have.
Eh?
National savings certificates, a certain return in an uncertain world. Tax-free, risk-free.
Ah, Jeff. Sausage.
Not for me, Larry.
Unlike ordinary liquids, new Persil liquid is concentrated for superb results right across the wash. Whites are Persil white. Colors are Persil bright. New concentrated Persil liquid. What's more, each bottle gets even more brilliant colors and even more dazzling whites outstandingly clean. Because every drop now washes much more than before. New concentrated Persil liquid. Every drop washes much more than before.
Do you speak English?
Sí, Bobby Charlton. No me estiles.
No. Is there a telephone here? Telephone?
Ah, sí, sí. Ah, Pelé.
I'm taking you in.
Internal Affairs, a British television premiere. Just one of 60 new films you can see on Sky Movies Plus and the Movie Channel in January. To subscribe now, call this number, 0506 460 460.
Thursday night at 7, all the news and results from Europe's League and Cup competitions. European League Roundup, Thursday at 7 on Sky Sports.
Terrific half, wasn't it? Spurs 0, Aston Villa 1 at half-time. Carlsberg man of the match. Let's just give you that telephone number, 0898 500 125. There it is, 0898 500 125. You pick your man of the match. Sports bag and various goodies up for grabs tonight. Big day out at Wembley later in the season, and we'll give you the result in Sky Soccer Weekend this coming Friday. Dave Bassett, 1-0 Villa.
Well, they deserve to be 1-0 up. As you say, a good first half, a good cup-tie atmosphere, and Villa deserved to go 1 up. I mean, they were unfortunate not to score through Parker, who did everything right, really, basically. He
it was a wonderful piece of skill, wasn't it?
Excellent. And he does everything right. He even lifts the ball, but he's just a bit unfortunate. He steers it wide of the goal. If it's on, I mean, it just had to be on target. It was a goal. He did everything right other than just a final touch.
Here he is. This is what we wanted to see.
He attacks the players. It's good skill. And the keeper comes out, he lifts it, and he'd be disappointed. But it was excellent skill.
At the other end, Paul Allen, who doesn't score many, as Martin said.
That's right. Well, he's got inside and it's on his left foot and he hits it to the near post. Whereas I remember in a Rumbelows game against Coventry, he bent it in the far corner with his left foot, and a similar skill would have created a goal there. Again, the space is opened up. He's attacked it there, and it's a nice little layoff by Paul Walsh. And he'd be a little bit disappointed, really. It was a scuff shot more than anything else.
And sometimes they go in, mind, don't
they? Oh, they do. Some of the scuffs are the best goals.
Now, let's just have a look at this goal. Own goal, we believe, and I think this will confirm for the final time that that's the case.
That's right. I thought Dwight York had got a touch, but in actual fact, I don't think he gets a touch at all. And in Paul Allen's hesitancy to clear, he kicks it against his back leg. So one would say that's an own goal. Tottenham are obviously a little bit concerned about the corner because they got Fenwick charging the ball out by the goal. But having said that, Richardson's put a good delivery in.
Keeper got caught, didn't he? In no man's land.
Yeah, as the keeper, David Pleat made the point that the keeper didn't do very well.
Now keep your eyes on Paul Allen, wearing 11 there.
That's right.
Protecting
it's a good picture, this. And I think this sort of just shows that York doesn't quite make contact with the ball. And Paul Allen actually moving off the line. Had he stayed on the line, I think it'd have been better. It comes off his leg. He's actually done a nuts on himself.
Well, he's actually cleared it off the line, hasn't he, and then put it back in himself. And Torsved, I think, knew that he dropped a Rick there, Dave.
I think he might be blaming someone else, actually, but there was a little bit of a comedy of errors there. Tottenham would be disappointed with that goal. But a lot of goals do come from corners, and sometimes they're
If you get that one right, mind, it's very difficult.
A touch at the near post and people in the box, it causes problems. And Dwight York's action has actually put Paul Allen off. One's got to say that he's done well. Had he not moved for the ball, then Paul Allen probably would have volleyed the ball straight away.
2 penalty appeals. Don't think either was a penalty, was it?
No, I think the referee did right in both occasions. If it did hit 2 on the hand, he's certainly not intentional. He's diving in to block the shot, and it sort of hit him on the shoulder as such. And I think the referee was entirely right there.
Despite the appeals from Paul
Well, you're going to get them.
Closest.
And Staunton's actually stumbling. I mean, Paul Stewart does make contact with his leg, but in fairness, he's not in a scoring position and he was falling over. There was no way.
Look, Dave, couldn't have been better placed. He was right on top of it.
Right on top, and I think the referee was right in both instances. Both sets of players were obviously trying to get a penalty, but there we are. You know, we're getting penalties willy-nilly at the moment, but I think the referee was right.
We are. We heard from David Livingston that Villa were anxious, and understandably, midway through that half. In fact, just after they'd scored, they had to ride a real storm, didn't they?
Yes, Tottenham came back into the game. Villa started very well, and they had a good spell, Tottenham, and that was when it appeared that Gordon Jury had pulled wide on the left to perhaps get his pace at the full-back, and Paul Walsh was down the middle with his dribbling, and they had a good spell at that stage. It was just interesting. The centre-halves got a hold of the ball where they had 2 against 1 against Cyril Regis, and it'd be interesting to see whether one of those now starts to push forward into midfield. But obviously, again, Villa would probably be thinking that they could have done with the second goal, which would have been nice for them at half-time. But they'll still be delighted to be 1 up, and deservedly so.
Indeed so. The cup holder Spurs 0, Aston Villa 1. Remember, we get a decision one way or the other tonight. There's the possibility of extra time and those penalties if needs be. See you in a couple of minutes. Stay there.
The best crowds in the world.
Sky Sport!
The most flamboyant players.
Sky Sport!
More atmosphere, more passion.
Sky Sport!
Italian football Sunday at 8 on Sky Sports.
Sky Sport!
Don't feel like this. Watch it.
Ich habe ein Problem, da ist eine Fliege in meiner Suppe. Psst, sonst wollen hier alle eine.
The Germans have never been noted for their comedy. Fortunately, the new fully galvanized Audi A-Tier is more to their sense of engineering excellence than to their sense of humor.
Wissen Sie, ich habe eine Fliege in meiner Suppe. Psst, sonst wollen hier alle eine Fliege haben. Danke, ja.
Its enlarged boot has ample room for an Englishman, an Irishman, and a German. It's also fitted with the Procon 10 safety system and ABS, should a funny thing happen on the way to the theatre. The new Audi A-Tier is also designed to be largely recyclable, a concept the Germans especially their comedians,
Da ist eine Fliege in meiner Suppe.
are very familiar with. Vorsprung durch technique, as you've probably heard before.
Remember, ladies, for the tastier sweet and sour pork, use home fried sweet and sour cooking sauce.
Noodles.
I beg your pardon?
It's delicious with noodles.
Oh, yes, I see.
You know, Patterson reckons I went round and had dinner with his girl when he was away. Reckon some of his forex went missing.
Oh, yeah?
That really got me.
Yeah?
Always take me home.
Yeah. So do I.
Australians wouldn't give a Castlemaine forex for anything else.
If you're viewing television without a license, you may think there's little danger of getting caught. Last year, our computers, inspectors, and detective vans tracked down over 1,000 evaders a day. Please, get a TV license before you get fined up to £400.
Power Stick, the new white stick from Sure, contains a deodorant, which actually responds to changes in body heat. The harder you work, the harder it works. Whatever your day demands. New Sure Power Stick. Power protection on demand.
Can Darren, the schoolboy Van Horn, successfully defend his IBF super middleweight title against challenger Iran Barkley?
How you feel? Feel good, dude. You're working.
For a fistful of fight action, watch Ringside, Thursday night at 8 on Sky Sports.
Welcome back. 1-0 Villa. Should be some second half this. The cup holders won't want to go out tonight. Some football scores. I say that because there have been all sorts of various kick-off times tonight. One match abandoned, as you can see there, but let's run through them with you. Cambridge 0, Coventry City 0, Derby County 2, Burnley 0, Phil G and Mark Patterson the scorers. Hereford 1, Woking 0, Jonathan Narbut the scorer. That was delayed 10 minutes as well to allow the crowd to get in. Newcastle Bournemouth abandoned, fog on the Tyne, apparently the reason for that. 17 minutes play when that was called off. West Ham 0, Farnborough 0, and the Dons, Wimbledon 0, Bristol City 1 is a current scoreline. Andy May. Carlsberg man of the match. 0898 500 125. That's the telephone number, 0898 500 125. Remember, we're with this one tonight until we get a decision one way or the other. Possibility of extra time, maybe penalties. Villa lead it at the moment. And immediately after this programme, the Footballers' Football Show. So stay with us here on Sky Sports. One word, Dave.
Well, I think there's goals still to be had, and Villa will look to be trying to catch Spurs on the break and get that second goal. But last week, Spurs proved yet again that they can come from one down. So it's an important early 20 minutes, I would think, for Villa.
Big night of football here on Sky Sports. No need to go anywhere else. Settle back and enjoy the second half with us. Spurs 0, Aston Villa 1, David Pleat and Martin Tyler.
Thanks, Richard. Welcome back to White Hart Lane. Tottenham have lost here in the First Division to Chelsea, to Manchester United, to Manchester City, to Dave Bassett's Sheffield United, to Liverpool and to Nottingham Forest. And they trail now to Aston Villa, who have had a problem with their kit. You might have read that the training ground has been vulnerable to some burglaries. And Ron Atkinson went on to local radio yesterday to appeal for the return of some match boots that were pinched earlier this week. And happily, the thieves must have been finding their conscience pricked. They've returned the boots, which were brought down from Birmingham this afternoon. They were left anonymously in a car park near the training ground. And, well, it all is part of the FA Cup saga, I suppose. Anything is possible in this competition. Samways, no change for Spurs. And certainly one talking point at half-time has been the goal and those that will go down Two in the record books. David Livingstone's got some up-to-date news on that. We'll get that in just a moment, the next time the ball goes dead. Here's Regis. Free kick to Villa. David Pleat.
I've always regarded Ron Atkinson as having a very acute tactical brain, and it wouldn't surprise me, having outthought Spurs in the first half with more or less a five-man midfield with two wide players coming to support Regis quickly, it wouldn't surprise me if this half he puts Daly up the middle with Regis and gives Tottenham something else to think about, particularly if Peter Shreves' team talk at half-time about countering the way Villa were in the first half.
Fenwick. Allen darting ahead of him, as one would expect. Lineker coming short. And it breaks down for Tottenham. Owen Daly, can he scramble up? He has done. He's got Parker. He returns the compliment. To his right, Richardson. Brilliant play from Aston Villa. Gary Parker's round the goalkeeper and he can't find the net because Mabbutt heroically kept it out. And in doing so, has stopped Spurs really slumping at the start of the second half and maybe going far enough behind beyond recovery. Great approach work though here.
Tremendous little run by Parker, beating the offside there, and really should have done better. Wonderful play by Mabbutt. Will that be the turning point?
But Gary Mabbutt, who is such a worthy defender and has had some bad luck recently with goals flying in off him. Goals against Tottenham, goals against England as well. But he didn't give up the cause as lost then. Torsfeld having difficulties at the near post. Paul McGrath, who caused the problems on the goal. He's the player Staunton has been looking for in that area. Sedgley up the highest, Staunton. Sedgley, off by Kubicki, who was in the centre then, with so many of his fellow defenders pushed up at the set piece. Stewart. And Tottenham still tentative when Daly takes them on. There's plenty of justification, really. Here comes Staunton. Still Staunton. Sedgley had to get the ball. There was no margin for error in his tackle then, but he did. Richardson. Staunton. He's offside. Well, now let's catch up with David Livingstone and the version from the dressing room about the only goal of the game so far. David.
Martin, I dared to suggest to Ron Atkinson and Andy Gray that perhaps the Villa goal was an own goal. They were horrified. Own goal, he said, what are you talking about? No question, it's Dwight York's goal in their eyes.
I'm sure it will go down to York in the Villa records, and really that's the way the football histories are compiled. The club seems to have the final responsibility, and Dwight York is very much in your pictures again here. Well, he's got a natural flair for the game. Already many times an international with his homeland, Trinidad and Tobago.
I don't think Peter Shreves, it's like a boxing match. You know, in the end there's going to be a knockout and it's going to come soon if he's not careful. Peter Shreves has got to do something. They're running at the back far too easily. They're getting in behind them too easily. That was really wasteful finishing by Dwight York after a splendid run. We've just seen Parker and Daly get through. Drury looks a little bit injured for Tottenham, and I would expect to see Tottenham make a change very quickly now. They've got to break up the rhythm. The pace of Villa is getting at the back far too easily, and at this moment there's an inevitable second goal coming.
There's a problem for the officials here because Gordon Drury had lost a shin pad. Of course, they are compulsory these days. And the linesman making sure that Drury replaced it. Well, Aston Villa have quickly recaptured their rhythm of the first half. And Tottenham nowhere near capturing theirs. But there's still time, and there's still Lineker. while he's around, Aston Villa will not contemplate a place in the fourth round until the final whistle goes with a lead intact. Stewart! Oh, that might have found its way in, but for Sean Teal. Seeley was launching himself across. It's a corner. A little more like it for Tottenham Hotspur, the holders of the FA Cup. Teal doing well in the air again. Retrieved here by Allen. Now Samways. Everything right of him. But he was pressed by Regis, and that's where front players have to take the responsibility and help out those who are guarding the penalty area. He really forced the miss-hit cross from Samways.
Quite right, Martin. Real good response, team responsibility, that.
This is another view of the moment where Gary Parker was feeling sure that it was 2-0 to Villa, and Gary Mabbott had other ideas. We all know is one of the tougher defenders around. Peter Shreeves has been paying tribute to him, and I do think in his involvement with Wales as well, it may be that Van Gaal will return to the international arena. There's been a bit of a lack of communication with Terry Yorath, I believe. Daly. Fennick. McGrath again. Here's York. Richardson. Hasn't wasted too many balls, but that was one of them.
Youngster did well there, Small. Chasing a poor crossfield pass and retrieving it and then getting back to Les Seeley. That'll do his confidence good.
York. Trying to get a goal about which there is no doubt. And but for Torsvett's full-length dive, he would have had one. Regis following up. Villa again, showing that they have the knack of making shooting positions.
Dwight York is really sparkling now. He's not only playing aggressively when he's got the ball, running at opponents, but he's passing the ball very economically inside too.
Here's Richardson with a corner. Oh, McGrath's got it free, and it was almost a replica, except that Torsvett this time stood and watched it from the line. And York, who undoubtedly did get a touch on the one goal before it went in off Paul Allen, York couldn't connect that time. Parker, offside, and Torsvett has held it from York again.
There's the header, little flick there, McGrath. Spurs have earned the possibility nearly then of a second goal.
And it was York and Paul Allen face to face again in the same position. It's one lesson that Tottenham haven't learned, and it's been a painful lesson.
It's so important that the man designated to stand in front of McGrath doesn't edge forward at the last minute and give McGrath no shield in front of him. He's got to try and stand still and make sure that McGrath isn't able to backflip that ball. He needs a marker in front and a marker behind.
just over 10 minutes into the second half. Allen. Here's Fennick. Quick throw for Tottenham. Cleared by Daly. Regis doing the holding up job excellently. Parker. Kubicki made up the ground well. It's another try, it's his second of the game. And a little further out that time. We mentioned at Villa Park that he's got an excellent record in Poland's equivalent of this competition. Played in 3 finals, twice a winner with Legia Warsaw. Samways. Off goes Lineker. They haven't had too many balls over the top. Tottenham. Oh, and that one shouldn't have got there, really. Arguably McGrath's first miscalculation of the evening.
It's a ball Tottenham obviously would like play, Martin. Down the channels for Lineker, Drury, Walsh's pace. But of course Villa are canny. They've sat a little bit deep. They haven't pushed and squeezed and left too much space behind the last defender.
There was just one chance at Villa Park which came to Paul Walsh late in the game there in similar circumstances to the incident you've just seen. But McGrath, miss-kicking, just got a piece of the ball and deflected it away from Lineker. Free kick given against Regis. McGrath. Samways. Jury. There's help from behind from Vanden Hauwe if Jury needs any help. Kubicki, who is being somewhat tormented by Jury's twists and turns, eventually lured into the indiscretion. And it's teed up from a short free kick for Jury. Suffering from cramp, I think.
I should be very surprised if Drury gets the distance in this game.
David, you did make a point right at the outset that sometimes playing all your 3 best forwards doesn't always work.
Yes, I think as at this moment it's easy to be wise with minutes to go, but Spurs, in trying to get an attacking formation, have thrown natural forwards onto the field, but of course they haven't got natural shape. It's like asking Walsh and Drury to perform wideish left at times when really they are not natural wide left players. I suppose in fairness to Tottenham, we don't know the full injury position. We know that the young boy Houghton can play wide and is a progressive player playing wide. Naeem, of course, who's on the bench, can play wide.
Offside against Walsh. I think several reasons dictated to Peter Shreeves in his selection tonight. Paul Walsh's form, certainly one of the reasons. Peter said to me after the Chelsea game, if I left him out after the way he played today, I would destroy him. He's done so well at Stamford Bridge. Here's York trying to destroy Tottenham. Parker with a whip cross diverted by York, almost to Staunton, who will still keep the ball in play. York back on his feet in the centre. Now Small involved. Daly. I wouldn't think Aston Villa have played better than this in an away game all season. Stewart showing that Spurs still have some sophistication, but they need a bit more clout at the moment. Vanden Hauwe. Jury initially hugging the touchline, and then Parker preventing him making progress infield. Brandon Howe, Sam Ways, a bit of pressure on him by Richardson. Richardson knocked back the full 10 yards. And he's complaining about it now. And the referee doesn't like that. Jimmy Borrett is going to book the Villa captain.
Quite right too, Martin. It's 10 yards, that's the rule, and you've got to accept your punishment. I just hope that when the next free kick goes the other way, he's consistent.
Staunton, who got header out of the penalty area for Villa. Once more, Tony Daly, a great outlet for Ron Atkinson's team. He wants to do more than that, of course. He wants to take the ball meaningfully into the opposition's territory, which he couldn't quite do then. Richardson, Staunton, Regis, and now York. And Staunton's got in there, and he's come back into the side to play in what Ron Atkinson calls an old-fashioned inside left position. And he's been very involved as Spurs look to involve Naeem now. And it is Gordon Jury, who came back in the reserves on Saturday and played for 70 minutes. And has played for less here for the first team, having been affected by cramp. And they're making the point on the far side that the hamstring hasn't gone again, just in case Tottenham viewers watching who are particularly concerned as to whether Jury might be out for another long period. That seems unlikely. York wriggled on. Oh, and Daly! After some more bewildering play by Dwight York. Tottenham in so much of a tangle defensively, and Tony Daly coming in at the far post.
Really fine play by Dwight York. He's playing as well as I've seen him play this season.
Lineker to Allen. Villa somewhat regrouped. McGrath up above Samways. Now Regis, 5 up for Villa.
The game's really spread now. Ebb and flow, next goal wins it if Villa get it.
Staunton, offside against York, who was looking along the line and trying to sneak in. Tottenham, as they have to do, get the game going again quickly. Now, Lineker chasing one over the top, but Celia's recognised the problem. York. Samways. Now Naeem, you may remember, came on in the cup final last May when Tottenham were 1 down in rather sensational circumstances in place of Paul Gascoigne, and certainly played his part in Spurs' recovery to beat Forest. Can he do the same here to make sure that that FA Cup stays in Tottenham's grip? For all Aston Villa's valiant play so far, still only a 1-0 lead. Lineker. He manufactured a shot out of very little then, just to remind Villa that they've done the job well enough so far. But there's still time, 25 minutes in fact.
You know the cliche, don't we? It only takes a second, and I look at Naim here on the left, and I just feel if he can dribble into that box, or Paul Walsh can dribble into that box, there's always a chance they might get a penalty. While it's tight, 1-0, who knows?
Small. Teal. Trying to catch out Van den Hauwe, who responsibly steered the ball back. Teal's header. Mabbott. Here's Van den Hauwe. Lineker with 2 to the right. Stewart. Allen has got a good angle for the cross now. Richardson was an important figure for Aston Villa then. Mabbott. More of the play now in Aston Villa territory. Stewart. Samways linking with Walsh. Stewart again. If Villa let Tottenham pick their passes, well, it could be dangerous for them. Although there was progress then, ended disappointingly for Terry Fenwick.
I'm sure the standard of Villa's football has kept Ron Atkinson warm tonight. He hasn't resorted to an overcoat yet, Martin. Standing in that tunnel as calm as can be. He'll be very, very disappointed, absolutely distraught if he doesn't get a result here tonight after playing like this.
Sedgley. And you do sense now that this is another crucial phase for Villa. They've got to maintain the attitudes that have got them this far, the application, the organisation. Nine crosses. Richardson again, just funneling back into his own area to deal with the danger. Stewart. Tottenham now have really got to roll up their sleeves and produce some courage and some character, knowing how dismal their supporters are feeling. And Lineker lunging, plunging. Spurs getting closer. Yes, a more optimistic look. There's Richardson again, though. Tottenham are picking him out with more regularity than they would like. Came off the head of Gary Parker. It'll be another corner.
Fenwick and Van der Hauwe now really pushing forward in general play, really trying to force the Villa back and succeeding.
Aston Villa all back, all in their own penalty area. There's no ball out for them except out of play, as Richardson found then. Good support from Regis and Staunton in turn. Now Richardson. Staunton going for the return pass, and the linesman... I'd say that looked particularly tight, that one.
Yeah, it was a good move by Villa. Small getting on the outside, Staunton using the inside man. Intelligent play.
Allen. Samways. In the FA Cup is always painful, but never more painful than when it's your FA Cup. It's the position that Tottenham are in, but they have time to change it, although they're angry, and Naim could be in trouble for his remonstrations, namely that the free kick has been given against him.
Tottenham are putting tremendous physical efforts in a bid to get back into this game, but so far they're still unable to really create, and the Villa back four really looks solid as a rock. They've kept this unit together. They played at Arsenal and no goals conceded, and that must have brought them here today with a lot of confidence.
So Naim, that's his name taken. And what a contrast in the centre defence of Villa. Paul McGrath, who's won the FA Cup with Manchester United, and Sean Teal, who played for so long in non-league football and who start at that level in the FA Cup in August. And they're usually out of it by September. Here's McGrath. Samways. It's wanting too long. Parker's tackle. And so anxious were Tottenham through Naeem and Van den Hauwe to drive on down the left-hand side that they both went for the same ball. And there was confusion at the end of it. By Parker. Walsh wondering whether a quick free kick was on and decided against it. Naeem then does deliver it. And always Tottenham have to worry about the pace of Villa on the counter-attack. And Regis has power to go with his pace. Well, Samways was pretty much the last line, but it could hardly be construed as a goal-scoring opportunity there.
It should have been a yellow card though, Martin. He's clear through, although he's in a wide position, and it's not a red card. The field was completely opened up for Regis there, and he got the ball past Samways, and he's lucky really to be not given the yellow card.
I think Regis helped him by no complaints at all. Daly still in play. Again, the extra gear that Tony Daly has, and Fenwick was labouring, couldn't cut out the cross. There's been an exceptional play in that thrusting way from Aston Villa from Tony Daly and Dwight Yorke. And Cyril Regis has had his moments as well. They lead by a goal to nil. A goal that, whatever the doubts, will be given by Aston Villa to Yorke. Regis. And Daly not quite that quick.
Another substitution, for Tottenham, Martin.
Well, it's the last card that Peter Shreves has to play. Off goes Terry Fenwick. Gudni Bergson comes on. Back in 1985, he came over from Iceland and had a trial with Aston Villa. It didn't lead to contractual involvement in England. He had to wait until Tottenham tested him out. He's a man of many parts. He's certainly a player who can slot in at right back. Samways. Lineker. And if Tottenham were to equalise, of course, it would be extra time. I scarcely have to tell you that after that, if it was still level, it would go to penalties. Yorke trying to make all that academic. Here's Parker. Oh, and he hit it hard, hit it true. If he'd connected like that when he got round Torsvet earlier in the half, Villa would be 2 up. Torsvet made a good stop this time.
He's possibly had chances to score a hat-trick tonight, Gary Parker. He had that one in the opening 4 minutes, then at the start of this second half he could have killed the game. And there's another opportunity when Dwight Yorke unselfishly laid it back to him. Parker's had a very good game. I feel the way Villa have played tonight, they've been inspiring for an away side. It's been difficult for Tottenham. Tottenham are sticking to their task. They're still in the game. They can still get a goal. But really, Villa have played mightily well for an away side.
Samways is OK. Staunton. Richardson. McGrath was happy to go on in himself, but Staunton took over. We talk about away teams playing well, David. You were 1-0 up at Anfield till when?
Oh, I think it was the 95th minute, the equaliser. I think it was the 100th minute. It seemed like that anyway, Martin. It aged me. I'm just getting over it now. But Liverpool did very well. They kept at it. They kept going. We were very, very disappointed. But we're getting better.
But it's a recent example of how games can change. York. Staunton. Ferguson trying to prevent the service for Daly. And he's done that nobly. Walsh. Stewart at the moment up through the centre, and Lineker rather listlessly there, allowing McGrath to challenge Samways. Daly once more. All Villa need is a second goal, and as much as you can in an FA Cup tie away from home, they could relax. But this is what the crowd have been hoping for until the flag went up.
That was a great diagonal ball and a good run by Lineker, but no question in my mind, he just got off his marks a shade too soon. No doubt about it, it was offside. But a good ball and a sharp run, a thrusting run. We haven't really seen Lineker tonight. He's probably had so many problems recently. It's very difficult for him to play to a high momentum every game at this moment.
And Tottenham looking like a side that have had too many games recently. Samways, Naeem. From Villa's point of view, the countdown is on. 12 minutes left. Staunton recognising that a heroic charge forward isn't always the best way to maintain the status quo. Offside's pretty even. Hasn't been a major factor on the match. One goal from a set piece is what it's all about at the moment. You're hearing is coming from the fans who've travelled from the West Midlands. They're singing their team home, and the problems for Tottenham manifest themselves in another injury to Mabbutt. Oh, Seeley's come a little unnecessarily, one would have thought. He's got back now. Walsh for Naeem. Samways wedging it back. Bandenhauer thought that Naeem would get there. Samways again. Naeem now. Up comes McGrath. And it's not just booted away, it's steered away to Parker. And on to Dwight York. Regis keeping pace with him in the centre. Daly is there as well. Mabbutt, who's been sorting himself out injury-wise, on the scene quickly. Stewart hasn't done as much in this game as he has in recent matches for Tottenham. Daly against Sedgley. York there to lend a helping hand for Villa. And he was fouled as he went for the return pass from Parker. Have done so much in the second half in terms of making openings, but they haven't got a second goal to end the anxieties, and really it would put Tottenham totally out of their misery if they did score again. But this is an opportunity for just that. Staunton with the left foot, and Parker with the right. It's Parker, and it's offside. Still Regis. Well, it's been that way for 70 minutes now, with only the rare extra flutter of Villa hearts in defence. That's how well they've coped. Nowitzki caught by a high boot. From Barcelona, catching the Polish international. Who is the Aston Villa physio, who have more than a passing interest about the fourth round tie. If Villa get through, and if Derby, who are progressing well at the baseball ground against Burnley, also get through. Jim Walker, formerly a Derby player.
Yes, he was quite a talented outside left, was Jim, in the Clough Peter Taylor days at Derby, and he's done a lot of good work as a physiotherapist since.
Well, you have to take your knocks on occasions such as this and get on with it, and that's what Kubicki has been encouraged to do. It's ticking away from Tottenham. Teal. Abbott. Well, Tottenham had the ball. I suppose they're happy enough to get the free kick. It gives them a chance to push further numbers forward, essentially in Abbott in particular. Van den Hauwe takes it. There's Bergson. Real danger here. In their desperation that Tottenham will totally lose their shape. They've got to gamble. And just hope something drops their way. Maybe from the talents at their disposal, something will happen for them in the nick of time. Throw. It will happen late, of course, in the quarter-final of the Rumbelows League Cup against Norwich City, when Norwich are beginning to believe, as Aston Villa are doing now, that they were going to go through. 6 minutes left for Spurs. Bergson. Samways. And Staunton, who's had a marvellous match, wins the ball for Villa and plays it sensibly to Regis. Van den Hauwe wanting to make sure that the progress was good from the back. And there's a bit more penetration about this attack now. Stewart. Ooh, and sliding in then. Hill nearly had a problem, but McGrath was right alongside him. Walsh. Van den Hauwe asking for Stewart to make something of that. It really suited the defender more. Sean Teal climbed well. Now York. And so often Aston Villa have found themselves in this position in the second half without being able to really kill the game off at the end of these orchestrated attacks. Staunton. Rather than a free kick handball given. Bright York was right on the line. Lineker. And Allen striving with all his might, as you would expect Paul Allen to do. That's the type of character that he is. utterly typical of Tottenham's night. Everything's been slightly off for them, David.
Yes, they've struggled to get really any shape, pattern. They haven't passed the ball particularly well. Their fullbacks have been tortured by Dwight York and Tony Daly's pace. Regis has been so strong up front. And really, although there's a few minutes to go and anything can happen, Villa certainly, in territorial terms and in chances created, have been easily in front tonight.
Walsh, Lineker! Well, he's pulled the rabbit out of the hat so often in the past that you're surprised when he misses. And how Tottenham could have done with this one going in. Having to stretch, he couldn't control the ball just beyond the half volley, really.
Yeah, he had to snatch. It was a good effort. It felt quite kindly for him, really, but he's leaning back and then he's having to snatch at it. Not an easy chance, that.
And there are 3 minutes left. Staunton. Foul by Allen. That will all suit Aston Villa. A few more seconds will pass before the free kick is taken, although Jimmy Borrett has been conscious already of any attempt to waste time. Villa get on with the game. Parker. Cross comes Regis, but it wasn't a good pass. Lineker climbed well. Stewart up with him now. Guided off well to Allen. Well, it's no time for reckless challenges. It's a free kick that puts the pressure on the team that has played well for so much of the match. Teal's header, and Kubicki clears. 1 or 2 Tottenham appeals that the ball struck Kubicki on the arm. But certainly they haven't maintained their disappointment. McGrath, just what's required for Aston Villa in the circumstances. Brandon Howe had to chase back. 90 seconds plus stoppage time. Of the FA Cup are on the ropes. Walsh's expression there reflecting not just his disappointment with the linesman raising the flag, but I think just the way Tottenham have been throughout the evening. Of the match, even before they scored, Aston Villa 11 minutes. They'd imposed their will on the proceedings. They've been able to keep that up. Mabbott. McGrath has been a tower of strength. Forward from Mabbott. Ryan Small coming through that test well. Regis. They've played well individually, Aston Villa, and tactically they've been superbly organised for this task by Ron Atkinson. But while there's life, there's hope for Spurs. Lineker, Teal trying to get with him. Lineker trying to line it up, and the cross came Small. 20 years old. Only his 5th game in the first team. He was the rescuer then, in the nick of time.
Yeah, he's done very well. He's quick on the turn. He's strong.
It's stoppage time now. Samways. And Ron Atkinson and Andy Gray are desperate to hear the last blast on the whistle, although as the ball is now not from Seeley's grasp by 9, the whistle must go.
Lineker's most annoyed there with Naeem there. He's only wasting Spurs time. What a stupid thing to do. They need every available second.
But the agitation from Andy Gray not really reflecting what's been going on from Villa's point of view on the field. They've been calm and composed, and their reward is very, very close now. They can almost reach out and touch it. And Gary Parker very wisely drops the ball down, but actually the referee knew exactly what was going on. And will have probably added on a few more seconds for that. Daly. It comes back to him. Can Villa finish it in style? Well, Van den Hauwe and Mabbutt have had to do a lot of defending to keep it at just 1-0 to Villa. Allen. Spurs have been out of sorts, and they're very nearly out of time. Allen, certainly not a penalty. No way, not on any day, and not now when Tottenham needed it so badly. But there's still a chance for a cross. Walsh. It's a corner, and it's not yet over. Parker races back on the post, and Kubicki for Villa as the corner is taken and cleared. Here's Walsh. And everywhere that Tottenham look for an opening, Villa have a barrier. It was York then. Naim. Caught it at a fairly low point, which means that if someone had darted in at the near post for Tottenham, they would certainly have scored, but there was no one there. And get it out, come out, get the ball out, and above all, blow the whistle. That's what Ron Atkinson and Andy Gray want. 3 minutes, extra played, and that's it. Aston Villa have knocked the FA Cup from Tottenham's grasp. A most valuable victory for Villa, and a most deserved one. It's given more evidence of their re-emergence under Ron Atkinson, who of course knows exactly what it takes to win the FA Cup. He did it twice with Manchester United. And Tottenham, so often in trouble in league matches here this season, and with a home hoodoo providing something of a curse now in a crucial cup tie, they've still the run below's challenge ahead. They've still Europe as well, but great pain for them tonight. The holders are out, and Aston Villa, who haven't won the FA Cup for 35 years, have landed the knockout punch in this heavyweight third-round tie. The goal came after 11 minutes. It was an untidy one from the Tottenham point of view, but for Aston Villa and their supporters, and for Dwight York, who will, I'm sure, claim that his touch before Paul Allen finally diverted it over the line is enough for him to be given the goal. He is now making his way towards David Livingstone, and we'll get some comment from down the touchline, but there's time for a final summing up from David Pleat.
Well, I think Tottenham really worked hard and kept going and did their very best to try and surmount a very difficult hurdle tonight. Villa got it right, they crowded midfield, they had two wide players getting at the Tottenham fullbacks. Some of their approach play was excellent, they created chances, they played with a positive frame of mind, they almost played as they thought they were going to win the cup tonight. There was only one winner. If it was a boxing match, they would have stopped it on points way before the end. I really felt that Villa played very well. Tottenham did their best, they stuck with them, but unfortunately they didn't have the shape, they didn't have the clinical passing, and we have to say on the night, well done Villa, you fully deserved it.
And well done Dwight York, he's with David Livingstone.
Dwight, a fabulous game to watch and a great result for Villa. What kind of game was it to play in?
Oh, definitely. We come here, we come here with a lot of confidence. We think that we could have done really well. Obviously, the lads came out here, rolled their sleeve up, and obviously we got a result in the end.
Well, of course, the goal which knocked the cup holders out of the cup, you were involved in it. Are you claiming it?
Definitely. I've got the touch on it. They eventually went through Paul Allen's legs, I think. So, I mean, I would definitely claim it, and it's just nice to see it going. I mean, I think all of that's going to be delightful with everything, so I'm quite happy with it.
Having a look at it now, we'll see if your opinion remains the same after seeing this.
Yeah, definitely. I've got the touch there again, and it eventually went through Paul Allen's legs, and you can see. I mean, if it wasn't for my touch, I think Paul could have cleared it. Yeah, it comes up again. I've got the touch there. There it goes through his legs and then over the line. So I'm delighted just to see it going, so I'll be happy to claim it as well.
What kind of achievement do you think this has been for Aston Villa tonight?
Well, I think it's a good thing. We got knocked out of the Ramblers Cup, and it's just happy to see us to go through to the fourth round. We got Derby or Burnsley or whatever, and then it's going to be really nice going there and obviously getting the results, and looking forward to that as well.
Congratulations, White. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, it just goes to show that in the FA Cup, anything is possible. It looked as though the emphasis would switch back Tottenham's way, having held Aston Villa 9 days ago at Villa Park. But we pointed out as the players left the field then that Spurs had this rather doubtful home record in the First Division, and it wasn't all over from Aston Villa's point of view by any means. And they've proved that point totally tonight. They've played particularly well. More analysis and words here from White Hart Lane after this break.
Has Scottish football ever been more competitive? Big clubs, big names, big crowds and big matches. Some say the best soccer entertainment is north of the border, and it's hard to disagree. The Scottish League, Sunday nights at 10 on Sky Sports.
Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. Great to chew, even better to share.
Now don't you wait, oh, hesitate. Let's move before they raise the parking rate. Ow! All right.
Cool, refreshing. Wrigley's Spearmint Gum.
Now Teledisc invites you to take a sentimental journey down a road of everlasting memories. Songs you'll want to hear again and again.
Someday I'm gonna write the story of my life. Softly.
Sentimental Journey with Ruby Murray, Frankie Lane, Doris Day, Bing Crosby.
Around the world.
A timeless collection of 50 original hits, including the first #1s of all time, from the stars that will never fade. Pat Boone, Glenn Miller, Perry Como, Nat King Cole, and many, many more.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. No other love have I.
Sentimental Journey is not available in any shops, so please make a note of how to order your copy. Sentimental Journey, 50 romantic masterpieces in one very special collection. The complete set of 3 records, 3 long-play cassettes or 3 compact discs can be yours by simply calling this number with your credit card details.
Just what sin have I been guilty of?
Or write to Teledisc at this address. Sentimental Journey from Teledisc, the quality name for the best music collections. Remember, Sentimental Journey is not available in any shops.
Is he really that small, do you reckon? Ronnie Corbett.
I should think so. Could be a gimmick, though. Trick shoes, you know, something like that.
Me, don't you down at West Ham? Talking about I used to stand on a terrace, I used to yell out to you, go on, you bloody Mick. Don't you remember?
Welcome back. The cup holders, Tottenham Hotspur, are out, beaten at home tonight by Aston Villa, a 1-0. Dwight Yorke will claim it. It was an own goal by Paul Allen. Man of the match, Carlsberg man of the match, 0898 500 125. 0898 500 125 is the telephone number. Dave Bassett, I don't think there was any doubt Villa deserved to win that, didn't they?
No complaints. They played very well throughout the 90 minutes. Tottenham had a spell of pressure in the first half and then late in the game. And really, one can say that Aston Villa had 5 excellent chances in the second half and Tottenham had one with Gary Lineker, and that reflected the play.
Let's have a look at the first. Paul Parker, who could have had a hat-trick, as
he played
David
very well
Pleat
in
said.
Attacking plays, and Paul got through here with a nice little ball played through to him. He's done well, gone round the goalkeeper, and I think he thinks it's a goal, but one must congratulate Gary Mabbutt. He did tremendously well to get back. Again, I would think Parker will be disappointed that he hasn't scored.
He just had, well, in fact, he had a bit more time there than he thought, didn't he? This is a chance for Dwight Yorke.
That's right. There's another corner, exactly similar to the first one. He's in there, but Paul Allen just manages to put him off, and the ball goes out the back post. Again, another very good chance, which could easily have been a goal.
Moments after, it was Yorke, the provider, Daly with a header just over the bar.
That's right. Yorke does well with his control there. He's moving his feet well, and Tottenham players get sucked in a little bit here, and he finds himself going towards the line, and he clips an excellent ball in, and really it's a good chance, and Tony Daly will be a little bit disappointed with his header not being down and powerful enough.
Best cross of the night, wasn't it?
Yes,
Great
that's
cross.
Right. Very good cross.
And finally, Paul Parker again.
Yes, this again, Parker follows up. Dwight again's causing a few problems to Sedgley and Mabbutt. He lays the ball back and Parker hits a good shot, and Eric does very well to get a touch there because it's come through the 2 defenders.
I'll tell you what, I think Steve Staunton did really well for Aston Villa tonight. There's a subtle change. He left Blake out from the first match, brought in the young full-back, didn't he?
Yes, he brought Small in at left-back, who did remarkably well for a young lad.
Then played Staunton left midfield.
And Staunton was in there. Well, I mean, he moved about a fair bit, and Parker and Richardson did well. I felt Staunton did very well because
they were much better balanced, weren't they? It allowed Yorke and Daly to play in positions that suited them, that they enjoy and they've been having success with.
I think David made the point that Ron tactically had set out for Daly and Yorke to play wide to force the Tottenham full-backs back and to attack them, which it did. I thought that possibly Tottenham may have used Mabbutt or Sedgley pushing into midfield a bit more in the second half, but having said that, they couldn't get the ball, and Villa's pressurising was very good, and when they, well, as I say, they were basically in control of the game for most of the time.
Hope you enjoyed it. More reaction in a moment or so. Full-time scores. Let's just check out the FA Cup scores first of all. Cambridge 1, Coventry City 0. Dion Dublin in the 89th minute. That's a heartbreaker. Derby Burnley abandoned because of fog. It was 2-0 to Derby. Hereford 2, Woking 1. Extra time being played. Newcastle Bournemouth abandoned because of fog. After 17 minutes, no score. West Ham 1, Farnborough 0. A goal in the 89th minute there. Wimbledon 0, Bristol City 1. Andy May. Let's go to Upton Park and have a look at that goal. Paul Dempsey, the commentator.
Kenny Brown. Farnborough again get 10 players swarming around the edge of the box. It's aimed at Morley. He lost it. The keeper lost it. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? It's Trevor Morley. And we have less than 2 minutes on the clock. And just as we were starting to say that Farnborough had the consistency to keep doing it all night long, there's a bit of a mix-up between Power and Stipp. And Trevor Morley maybe takes West Ham into the 4th round of the FA Cup, and they've hardly seemed much like favourites to get there all night long.
Well, a glorious exit for Farnborough and huge relief, I would have thought, at Upton Park. 89 minutes, Trevor Morley the scorer. Some more full-time scores. Autoglass Trophy, preliminary round, Mansfield, Peterborough, match abandoned. Can't tell you too much about the score. First round, Barnet 3, Hampton 2, Bury 2, Chesterfield 1, Carlisle 1, Stockport County 3, Crewe Alexandra 2, Bolton Wanderers 0. And on we go. Fulham 2, Gillingham 0, Huddersfield Blackpool, that was abandoned. Preston 2, Hull 2, extra time being played. Rotherham Chester, same again. I'm not sure if all these were abandoned, maybe 1 or 2 postponed. Stoke 3, Cardiff City 0, West Bromwich Albion 0, Exeter 1. That's a surprise. Action on Friday from this competition in Sky Soccer Weekend with Matt. Second round Tennant Scottish Cup match, Clyde 2, Arbroath 0, and a second round replay from Scotland, East Fife 3, Brecon City 1. B&Q's Scottish League, Premier Division, Motherwell 3, Aberdeen 3. First Division, Morton 5, Clydebank 0. The Second Division, Dumbarton 1, East Stirling 1. As I said, action from the Autoglass Trophy on Friday. Footballers' Football Show to come tonight. We're talking about agents in football. Right now, back to White Hart Lane. Ron Atkinson is with David Livingston.
Ron, just how good a performance was that by Villa?
I thought we were excellent. To be fair to you, I mean, you're always on a knife edge, particularly when you've got Gary Lineker playing against you and you're only one up. But that was better than 1-0.
Do you feel in some ways that some of your younger players grew up tonight?
They enjoyed it. The preparation was to go out and not be frightened of it, but to savour a big atmosphere. You know, for 3 or 4 of them, it was the first time in a big atmosphere. And when you come into football, that's what you want, the big time. And, you know, they've sampled the big time and they've enjoyed it and they've expressed themselves and they've played ever so well.
Having knocked out the cup holders, any sense of anti-climax about the next round, perhaps?
Oh, we don't even know who that's against, but... you know, the FA, that'll set them tingling in Birmingham now. There will be a belief, at Aston Villa amongst the players, but there'll be a belief amongst the fans who were phenomenal again tonight. You know, that was important to us. And, you know, that's what happens in cup runs. I mean, the penalty that they possibly should have had at Villa Park may be a big turning point for us.
Ron, congratulations. Good luck in the next round.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
That's a big smile, isn't it? And, of course, if I've said Paul Parker, I meant Gary Parker. You should have picked me up on that. Did you spot that?
I didn't notice a deliberate error.
No, well, you're right. It was deliberate, Dave. Quite right. Coming up on Sky Sports over the next 7 days, let's have a look. Wednesday, 6 o'clock, Netbusters. 9 o'clock, highlights from the other third round. Well, I was going to say replay it. They haven't staged the original tie yet, have they? Leeds and Manchester United, 9 tomorrow. Thursday, our European League roundup at 7. On Friday at 6 and 9 o'clock, Sky Soccer Weekend, the announcement of our Carlsberg Man of the Match tonight, and also action from the Autoglass Trophy, amongst a whole host of other things. Saturday at 10, Cup Final Classic, Sunderland against Leeds, 1973, of course, that was. Sunday, 8 o'clock, the Italian League, new time for the Scottish football, 10 o'clock. Monday at 6, Netbusters, 8 o'clock, Italian League Magazine. And next Tuesday, the Zenith Data Cup, Southampton against Chelsea. That's the area final, first leg, and that is live here on Sky Sports. The Cricket World Cup, of course, coming up very shortly. Saturday the 25th, FA Cup football on Sky Sports, 6 o'clock. Fourth round highlights, including Derby or Burnley against Aston Villa. Sunday the 26th of January, 1 o'clock. FA Cup roundup, including Bristol Rovers against Liverpool and Sheffield Wednesday against Middlesbrough. 10 o'clock, the FA Cup fourth round, Chelsea against Everton. And on the Monday night, this one's live, Southampton against Leeds or Manchester United. Tuesday, an FA Cup special at 7:30. I think the summary of that is that this is the place to be to watch your football, isn't it? The Carlsberg Man of the Match, 0898 500 125. 0898 500 125. Give us a call. We'll give you the answers to that on Friday evening. And the Footballers' Football Show coming up. I'm looking forward to our discussion tonight. We're talking about agents. Dave Bassett stays on. Next week, incidentally, Graham Taylor joins us on the programme. Drop us a postcard with your questions for Graham. Telephone number. We'll get back to you and put you in touch on a one-to-one. At Cricket World Cup, February the 22nd. If you've been watching the programme tonight, for instance, in a pub or a club, I'm delighted that you joined us. But remember the sort of time that we'll be watching the cricket. That'll be after midnight for the most part. If you've got a couple of bob, get yourself a dish at home. I think you're going to enjoy that. Dave Bassett, final few words.
Well, I think it was a very good cup tie. It was far better than the first game, and as Ron made the point, they thoroughly deserved it. So there will be a tingle, and I think that's what the great thing about a cup, FA Cup, that you can be not doing so well in the league, you get the run going, and everybody gets optimistic. Perhaps we might meet them in the final.
Yes, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Tactically, he got it right tonight, Ron.
He did it very well, and they thoroughly deserved it. It's easy to look back. Tottenham in the first game got it tactically right at Villa Park, and Ron's adjusted, and his players, as he said, the young players have gone out and they've enjoyed it and they've expressed themselves. And at the end of the day, they're going to be having a nice journey home, and I should think Ron will have a bottle of beer or champagne.
We'll look forward to that. Villa and Sheffield United in the final. Thanks for your company, as I said a little earlier. Spurs, the cup holders, are out. Aston Villa through to the fourth round. Bye-bye for now.